Before we start Bolton, let's get kind of England out of the way. And I sat there thinking he must be doubly frustrated last night. Firstly, because Gary didn't get a game, and secondly, because Jack Wilshere looks sort of so comfortable in that sort of company.
Yeah, listen, obviously dealing with Gary first, then of course there was an element of disappointment, frustration, because I think we all felt, and we certainly were hoping that we'd see him wear that England shirt, because he would have wore it with immense pride. So I think, as great as it was to have him in the squad, I mean, we all wanted to see him, pulling that shirt on, and it never happened. And I'm disappointed for him, absolutely. I mean, I felt it was a perfect opportunity for the whole country, really, to see him. Because myself as his manager, and you'll ask every manager in the Premier League, they all know his qualities, but it'd be nice for the whole country to see that, and so we're disappointed that never happened. I mean, I felt again it was a great opportunity. Dawson, Cahill are terrific players, and rightly deserved a chance, but I just felt it would have been nice to include Gary within that as well, and never materialised.
Will it come, do you think?
Oh, I've got no doubts it will come. Listen, Gary Cahill, as I've said before, is a top class player, one that's getting better. 24 years of age, and week by week I believe improving, and there's no doubt he'll be the one of the England centre halves for years to come.
And in terms of the Jack Wilshere situation, I know we've spoken about it countlessly. I mean, as I said, he looks so comfortable in England shirt. Somebody else in Wenger might think, let's keep him here. Has there been any further contact?
Oh, I think well, there's always contact, because from me on a daily basis. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me how comfortable he looks on the ball, and I think you've seen equally in the first 30 seconds we were on with the tackle. He was determined to put his foot in and show. I mean, he's a brave lad in terms of taking the ball and being prepared to take kicks and even try and give them out. So I've got no doubts that again, he's a big England player for years to come. And it wouldn't surprise me if Arsene feels that he's going to play. The only thing I've ever said in all this, that he has to play now. I mean, he had 6 months with ourselves at Bolton, played week in, week out. He's at the stage now he has to play, and I've said consistently to Arsene and Arsenal, if he feels that he's not going to start, because you have to remember the quality they have, and particularly in that midfield area, and the fact that Fabregas is staying, which is a terrific boost for the whole country and the Barclays Premier League, then that might make it more difficult for Jack. I don't know, ultimately that'll be Arsene's decision, but if he feels that he still needs to play week in, week out, then we'd be delighted to have him.
And what do your instincts tell you about that? I mean, is it a waiting game to the end of the month, just seeing?
Yeah, I mean, I think if truth be told, you probably find in the first few games if Jack's going to start or not. But ultimately, I've said before, we're very respectful of Arsenal Football Club and the part they've played and allowed us to have Jack last year, and Arsene's been great with me, so I've thanked them for that, I really have. But if he becomes available on loan, we'd love to have him to January.
Just a final point on England. I mean, it seems as though David Beckham's England career is over. I mean, him as a player, and everyone admires him. Can you just put a player in a box and say that's over?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think there was mention of that he might, for another game to come, make a farewell appearance, and if he does, I hope that happens to be the case, because I think he's been one, particularly in this era, for me anyway, a shining light in English football. I know he's had trials and tribulations along the way, but that's one of the things I certainly, as a manager, look at him and love about him, because he's always bounced back and he showed an unbelievable mentality to do that. And the other thing as well, that to play at the very highest levels he does, even at the age he is, then he's been motivated to be the best he can be in terms of his ability, not finance. I mean, he's been a rich man many years ago, and the thing that's driven him on is to be the best he can be. And that's why you look at the David Beckhams, the Ryan Giggs, the Paul Scholes, these players that really push themselves to the limit to be the best they can be. And at Gary Neville's, you get nothing but admiration for these type of players.